Ian in the UK. You're talking to Eric and Christy.
Hi, Eric and Christy.
Hi.
Howdy, what can we do?
Absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Appreciate that.
Happy that you waited on the line, man. What's up?
There might be a small delay. I'm speaking to you from about 4,000 miles away, but I'll do my best.
Well, we will try and be understanding. What's up?
Okay, right. I've been following you guys and Hitchens and Dawkins and all the rest of it for many, many years. But unfortunately, I can use my Grand's Catholic Bible to conclusively prove the existence of God, if there is one, to yourself. Would you like to hear it?
Not quite. I'll tell you why.
Okay. Go on.
Because I've heard a ton of different people message and call in and say, I can disprove the existence of God. And because
I suspect nobody's tried it using this method.
Well, so here's the thing. People believe for different reasons. And because they believe for different reasons, I can't tell you how many people have messaged in, to the Atheist Experience and the email, right? Mail at, TV at atheist-community.org. Right? Yeah. And said, hey, I've got the magic bullet.
Would you give me 90 seconds to try and explain it?
Yes, I do want you to know, though, that the context that I'm looking at this in is if we're not meeting them where they're at, then we're talking at them, and I don't see a lot of value. Like, I appreciate it, but and I hope you prove me wrong. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Unfortunately, we all die, and it's a very sad event. You, unfortunately, will die, and I would like you to take Pascal's wager.
We're aware. You got your 90 seconds are taken.
Yeah, you got that. So, on the day of your sad demise, I would like to come round to your house with a priest and Graham's Bible. And I would say to you, will you take Pascal's wager? You say yes. The priest suddenly then christens you. You then accept Christ into your life. And I say to you, do you accept Christ? Because you need to reject him. And you say no. And I say, reject him. And you say no. And I say, reject him. And you say no. And I then use Graham's Catholic Bible and beat you to death with it. QED martyring you. And then if God exists, you get to see him. There you go. The proof of the existence of God using the Bible. Probably its only use.
So, while hilarious, is really sarcastic.
Sorry.
Well,
but it's the only use I can find for the book.
You know what?
I wish
honestly,
you ill will. I'm sure you understand.
I've got a couple, and I definitely don't go to the Bible as a source for morality or ethics or a source for understanding the universe around me. But I do go to the Bible when somebody comes to me with the Bible and says, I want to talk about this. I've studied this book to a pretty fair degree that I am pretty well versed. And the only reason I'm willing to open it up is because, God, it's such an immoral piece of shit. It's easy. There are so many things that don't really work out with reality that the funny thing is people will say, well, here's a thing that's absolutely real, right? This was a real place. Well, fantastic. Spider-Man takes place in New York. But the only way that you're going to have those conversations is if you open it up in the first place. And you don't have to
it in order to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. You could. I know there are several atheists who vehemently disagree with this, and they'll say, no, they have to justify me opening it first. Yeah, that's true as well. You should be able to go, this is a reliable book before going to it to verify things. I think it takes all approaches, but largely, I would keep that as an atheist joke because that's not gonna work.
I just wanted to lighten the mood a little. Just one other one. The guy who you had on 2 calls ago, he's talking about the sun spinning round and the ground drying up. I'm glad that God wasted his time doing that rather than curing cancers or any serious problem like that.
Well, I mean, priorities.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah, you've got to prove it rather than do something useful, haven't you?
Well, it definitely is a funny position to be in. That entire miracle story is I understand people really want it to be true. And when I was a Christian,
Be true. Otherwise, what's the point?
Well,
or what's their point?
So here's where I'm going to diverge a little bit. Because people go to the Atheist Experience and I know we don't talk, we're providing community for each other.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary to have community to know what is true and what is not true. I understand that. But when you experience anomie, when you wholly separate from your understanding of what is underpinning morality, ethics, what you think is the point of life, if you've invested 50, 60, 70 years, I've talked to people who 70 years in didn't get the chance to live a life that they wish they could have.
Yeah.
And so you might as well just forge on just a little bit more so you can maybe not have to face it.
It's an interesting one. It's the age-old line. Fix it in this world because we're sure it exists.
That's right. And being a part of fixing it, this is what we're doing. These conversations with each other, building a place where we can have a live studio audience, where we can have an amazing crew, where we can go and travel and meet people where they're at and then create community so that we can be there for each other. Proving it, a step at a time.
On a far more serious note, I find it very interesting, having listened to your shows, the sort of the weight of importance of religion in areas around yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
See, over here, you can be a Catholic, you can be a Protestant, you can be a Mormon. No one really cares. No one's going to ostracize you from your community because you don't go to church or because you turn your back on God or whatever. Doesn't exist. But listen, some of the stories I've heard on your radio show of people who've been cast out of jobs and families and divorce and the kids and the parents, and it's so sad. You think, what a poisonous situation. It's not something we've had to deal with over here, but so much that I'm aware of. But it's heartbreaking, some of the stories we've heard. It's such a shame, such a great shame.
Well, and as devastating as all those anecdotes are, and you talked about forming a community and sort of why we're here, there's also the bigger picture. I mean, there are the folks who, don't have access to birth control because of the pervasive religious belief, who don't have access to goddamn bathrooms in many people's cases because of these religious beliefs, because of, all of the pressure on monogamy, the pressure for quote-unquote purity, the prevalence of rape. I mean, all of these things are hugely affected by all of this. So, yeah, there's a lot of pieces to it, and funny stories about how to argue, Christianity and all of that plays into the community of it. But I think that Eric has the truth of it, that it is important work to be working towards furthering the conversation in a meaningful way that creates meaningful change.
Cheers.
Yeah.
All righty, man.
Really appreciate your work on the subject. And one day I'll make it out to Texas and come see you guys and maybe come up with another couple of gags.
Hey, hope you
Sounds
do.
good, brother. Take care.